All righty then, Brad Kerner here. This is going to be rough, man. This is a screenshot of my laptop that I made through Snipping Tool, Microsoft Snipping Tool. And this is my ebook on a Kindle previewer, although I am not on Amazon anymore. You just download Kindle Previewer onto your laptop and you can and buy my book for 20 bucks. And the number of pages, it won't even say uh, on the Kindle. But on the other pad, it's about 800 plus pages, 837, I think, 250 full page color images. And this should give you a look at the book. My Life as an Expat, Part 1, the first 15 years, 1985 to 2000. It's now 2026, July 21st, and I'm still in Thailand. So I've been overseas for 40 years. And it's been what a long, strange trip it's been. Anyway, here's how this thing works. Here's the Kindle preview, and My Life as an Expat Part One. And over here are the chapters, so you can see the mouse and you can see the deal. There's me in a movie in Hong Kong, and my quote at the beginning of the book, which you're supposed to have, is "Those who think they can and those who think they can't are both usually right." That's Confucius, and boy, was he right. Because there's me in a right here in a movie in Hong Kong with a sword, and I just did many movies. Then I shot girls. That's covered up, by the way. That was in a river in Thailand for a calendar. A heads up from Brad. Hey, folks, Brad here, and I'm glad you could make it. I want to point a few things out before you take this thing on. So here goes. First of all, there are 250 full page color images in this memoir, and I can't stress enough their importance. When they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, well, that is total nonsense. A picture puts you right in my shoes at a certain place and time in my life, and they really take this memoir to another level. I followed this heads up with a photo timeline of my journey, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read the whole thing. And then here's the timeline. Part one, Chicago, 1981 to 84. Then I was going to take a trip to St. Martin, but it was more expensive than the year I'd been there prior. And there was a pamphlet on her desk that said Ski Innsbruck. And I said, "How much is that?" Well, those little things like that change your whole life. It's always one little item. And there's me in Nice, France, skating to work as a stockbroker in Chicago, but as an alcoholic, kept getting fired. So then I start modeling. That's my first modeling job. And this book has all these photos, man. And it really, what can I say? And modeling job, I end up in Nice, France. I take a flight to Innsbruck for a 1 week ski vacation. Don't get on the return flight. Get on the train, meet a guy who's modeling in Nice. And he says, and I had already started modeling in Chicago. So I said, "I'll take you to my agent." And they signed me, and bingo, there I am. In fact, the Love Boat was shooting there, and I got a scene as an extra in the Love Boat right when I landed, practically got off the train. There's me in Paris and Singapore, 1986. And then I decided to study acting, so I ended up taking a train from Singapore. Believe it or not, you can take a train all the way to Bangkok. And then I flew to Paris because I was going to move back to Paris. And then I decided to go to New York. So I flew to, I flew to New York, and there's me working with Liberace because I was a roller skater, and then I skated on in on my roller skates, and they hired me as a skate guard. Next thing, I'm working with Liberace. There's me, famous photographer Rudy Malachek took this in New York. He had photographed a cigarette ad that I was the model. I was modeling in that job, and there's me in movies in Hong Kong. I did movie after movie because I studied acting in New York, and I was an extra in a bunch of movies there, and I got experience, and that really, then I went to Hong Kong and bing, boom, 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 right place, right time, movie after movie. There's me in a movie, another movie. I was in about 5 movies. Here's my name, Brad. And I was also modeling. When my parents came to visit me in Hong Kong, they said, "Your picture's all over the airport." because I had Brooks Brothers suits from the stockbroker job, and I knew how to do it, and I just kept getting booked. And there's me in job in China. Those China stories are off the charts, man. I can't talk about them here because YouTube will boot me off. And there's me on the back cover of New Yorker. So this thing is dynamite. This Kindle previewer for your computer. It's a free download. And there's me with Richard Crenna. They made a movie, Last Flight Out, in Thailand in 1990. I got cast, and it was a speaking role, by the way. I had a speaking role with Crenna in Thailand. And then there's me with Joffrey Lewis, another movie, Day of Reckoning, shot in Thailand. Boom, 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 boom. The whole thing is magic, man. Then I ended up marrying that girl. That's not nude, by the way. That's my third wife. There's me getting married in Bangkok. Pretty cool, huh? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the audiobook. My audiobook is 9 hours long. I narrate it myself, of course. Who better to tell his own story than himself? And then the ebook is you know, on this pad it's like 837 pages. On the Kindle doesn't tell you how many pages, but it's probably 600 or so because it's got all those photos. And then and you can buy the ebook and the audiobook on Google Play. I'll be on Apple pretty soon, but I'm not there yet. And $20 for the audiobook, $20 for the ebook. And we're going to go to chapter 1, and I'm going to put the from the audiobook. I'll put. I'm not going to, redo the audio at this point. So Down and Out in Chicago will be from the audiobook. And that's about enough out of me. Hope you enjoyed it. And you don't have to look at my face, which is the best part. So get ready for Down and Out in Chicago, chapter 1 of my book, My Life as an Expat, part 1. And we'll take it from there. Stop recording, Brad, and upload it. Okay, later.